Are you in a high school relationship? Are you dating someone in high school right now? Are you a high schooler yourself right now? Actually, that'd be really creepy if you weren't in high school and they were. But anyways, today's story is why I'm going to be telling you guys to dump them. That's right. Don't date them. Literally get on the phone right now, shoot them a text saying, yeah, we're over, and move on, hit the gym and just forget everything. Or do what I do and just play video games. Yo, what is going on, you guys? My name's Bubba and welcome back to another insane story. So as the intro you guys saw, yeah, I'm not going to lie to you. I don't like the term high school sweethearts, nor do I believe in love in high school. Falling in love in high school is like falling in love with a fish. It will eventually die without you actually watching over it or you forgetting it a couple days. And the reason of this, well, I'm going to tell you guys why. And today's story starts off back when I was in grade 9. Now in grade 9, I didn't actually have Riz. Yeah, I'm going to be brutally honest with you guys. All the stories from before grade 9 were basically me just experiencing things in the most untrying way. Meaning that it just kind of happened because it happened. It was in terms of coincidence. But everything that happened in high school after, well, that's all true. And I'll tell you why I ended up becoming this way. So basically, back when I was in high school, in my grade 9 year, there was a girl I really fell in love with. Yes, I'm using the term love because I was a dumb kid. I'll tell you this right now, statistically speaking, more guys fall in love in high school than girls, okay? I'm gonna be brutally honest here. Because no one can deny this. Girls get to choose who they want. As for guys, we have to try to get what we want, okay? That's just a common fact here. No one's gonna deny it. Girls, you got it easier than us in school, okay? Especially in the dating game, all right? But basically, I remember back when I was in grade 9, there was a girl I really liked, or loved, I should say. And basically, the thing about me and her is that, you know, I knew her and I knew a lot about her, but she didn't know me at all, nor did she want to know me, I guess. I don't know. She never really looked my direction. So obviously, what does one man gotta do? So I remember me trying to, like, you know, figure out a way to go talk to her. I remember I was having one of my friends who was an absolute turtle nerd like me sit beside me. He sat beside me in class and he was like talking to me about stuff about this new video game coming out. Honestly, I didn't really care because I kept looking at my crush across the room. And I looked at him and said, yo, bro, like, what are my chances to be with that girl? I ended up pointing the girl out, and just for the video, we're just gonna call her Stephanie, okay? Her name's not actually Stephanie, but, you know, we're just gonna go with that name. I remember basically I pointed her out saying, yeah, like, Stephanie's hot, bro. Like, I really am interested in her, bro. Do you think I have, like, any chance with her? And then my buddy, we're gonna call him Tyrone, he ended up telling me, dude, I'm gonna be for real with you, bro. She's just, like, one of those girls that, like, you can look at but never touch, you know? Like the girls online. Dude, what? Is what I told him afterwards. I'm like, dude, I obviously got some chance, right? Like, you know, she, like, how many guys do you think she's probably talking to? I remember my friend looked at me and said, you gotta understand, bro, like, girls like that don't talk to guys like us. Bro, you got that straight out of a movie, is what I told him afterwards. And he kind of like chuckled and laughed with me. And as we were talking, I remember one of the guys overheard us and he ended up coming up behind us. He came behind us and we're gonna call this guy Jacob because no one likes a Jacob. Sorry for all the Jacobs in the comments down below. You guys can shoot me later. But going on, he ended up walking up behind us and saying, Bubba, Tyrone, you think you can get with her, bro? Nah, you whack, bro. You ain't touching her at all, bro. I'm gonna go for that right now. So I remember I ended up seeing this guy actually walk up to the girl that I liked and say, yo, how's it going, Stephanie? I'm just curious. Like, you fine, bro? Like, can I get your Snapchat? I remember I saw my crush literally like giggled at him. And, you know, as much as it made me almost cry because, you know, I was in love with this girl, which sounds really weird because she didn't know me. But, you know, I was. I remember I was like basically like kind of dying inside. And when I saw that, you know, my crush was giving her snap, I was just kind of upset. But then, you know, the guy ended up walking away. He looked at me with a glare and then left the classroom. Yeah, like I said, no one liked Jacob, all right? So I remember after that, my buddy Tyrone, he's right beside me. He just taps me on the back and says, bro, like, don't worry about it, bro. Like, she's just a hoe. Me, I just kept looking at her thinking, like, you could really just do that? You can get any guy and you chose him? And I'm not gonna lie to you guys, Jacob wasn't attractive either, okay? He was pretty damn ugly. But going on with the story, I remember after that incident, I was really upset. So I remember, you know, I'm just walking down the hallways, listening to Juice WRLD, you know, being all sad, walking down the hallway. And then that's when I saw something really odd. Out of nowhere, I remember I ended up actually, funny enough, bumping into my crush. I bumped into her when I was like having my head down, you know, listening to music. And I remember when I looked up, it was her. I was super nervous. And I remember I kind of like started shaking. I'm like, oh, like, what's going on? And then she ended up looking at me saying, oh, like, you're that guy in my class, right? Like, what's up? I don't really talk to you. I'm just curious though. Like, are we good? I remember I looked at her and I'm like, oh, what do you mean? Yeah, we're good. Like, what's the problem? All nervous, like being like a weird champ Andy. She ended up looking at me saying, oh, like nothing. Like, I don't know. You just keep staring at me in class. And like, I'm not gonna lie. Like, I thought we had like some sort of beef or something. What? No. And right as that happened, no joke, out of nowhere, my buddy Tyrone comes up behind me and he's like, oh, like, yo, you met my buddy Bubba. How you doing? Bruh. I'm not gonna lie. Like, there is the term cock block in this situation, and YouTube, don't demonetize me for this, but yeah, I won't lie to you. He basically did exactly that. I remember I got all nervous, and then one thing led to another. I ended up telling Tyrone, yo, let's go to class. We ended up dipping. I remember as we walked away, my crush's face kind of like looked like kind of weird weirded out about what just happened, but you know, it was whatever. Going on though, I remember when I was in my class with Tyrone was like, bro, you know what? Just do what Jacob would do, bro. What do you mean? Is what I told him. Like, why would I want to be like Jacob? And then that's when he pulled out something that I did not expect him to pull out, but actually worked. And no, it was not his eggplant. I know what you guys are thinking, but chill out for a second. It ended up being Jacob's phone. Yes, I don't know how he got Jacob's phone. Apparently Tyrone went to the locker rooms when he was in class and basically like, you know, pulled it out for some reason out of the locker and like grabbed it and brought it to me. But basically, I remember we ended up going through Jacob's phone, and what we realized was that this guy had some riz, okay? Jacob was like a pretty good person when he came to talking to women. He was funny, he was entertaining, and don't get me wrong, I'll make another video about basically how to pull girls, because I know that's like the most requested video on this channel, and I'll do it. Trust me, if this video gets like 1K likes, I'll do it. But basically, I'm not gonna lie to you, what he ended up showing me was that I needed to change. I need to change my look and my style to pull my crush. So that's what I did. No joke, don't ever do this. Don't change for no woman unless it's your wife, because you know that's different. But basically, I remember that day I ended up going home. I ended up pulling out my dad's razor, that's right, the shaver, and I ended up shaving my little pubic stache that I grew. Don't get me wrong, I look good with it, but yeah, apparently I look too brown. I don't know what that meant, but Tyrone said it, so you know, I'm just gonna go with it. I ended up shaving my little mustache, and basically one thing led to another. I ended up basically going to school, you know, with a new fade, a new haircut that I told my parents I wanted to go get. And when I walked into school, a lot of people actually liked it. I'm not gonna lie, people didn't really realize who I was, and actually a lot more people walked up to me saying stuff that I never realized. Like, for example, one of my friends came up to me saying, yo, dude, nice haircut, man. And there was like one of those skater kids that was like totally emo, but like at the same time not emo, just irrelevant. He walked up to me saying, right on, dude, look at you, Bubba. Like, he actually knew my name, dude. Like, what? And then that's when I realized I pulled off a new look. So me being all confident and stuff and getting an ego boost from everyone, I remember I walked up to my crush and I'm like, hey, like, you're the girl in my class, right? And she looked at me and she's like, oh, like, hey, Bubba, like, you good? Yeah. I was just wondering, like, can I get your like snap? She ended up giggling the same way she did to Jacob. And that's right, I pulled the snap. I literally got the snap just from being like that guy. So after that, I remember I was like pretty amazed of how much like a person can change and just like basically change the balance of life, I guess. And then I remember the next day, I ended up snapping this girl back to the point where we were like almost in a relationship. No joke, like she was saying how like, you know, she only liked me, and you know, I said all that cute stuff like I only liked her. And you know, basically, like, I'm not gonna lie, we were like a little secret couple at school, because you know, she always made those promises that all girls make on the phone, saying like, oh, like, I'll never talk to anyone but you. But that's a lie, bro. Like, no joke, that is a lie. I should have known this earlier, but honestly I didn't. And this is how I became basically embarrassed in school one day. I remember one day I ended up walking into school and I basically walked up to my crush. You know, at this point, you know, me walking up to her was a regular thing that everyone knew I would do. And I ended up telling her, yo, like, I'm just wondering, like, do you want to catch a movie later? Like, actually go on a date instead of like, you know, always texting each other. She ended up looking at me saying, oh, like, sorry, like, I have like a math final I have to do in the library after. Sorry, like, I can't. Oh, that's cool. That's cool. Okay, yeah, that's fine. And me walking off all like nervous and everything, I was pretty upset, but don't get me wrong, like, you know, school always comes first in high school. Forget girls, forget guys, forget anything. School comes first. That's why it's called high school, not Devil's Tango school, okay? And then I remember basically afterwards, I ended up like basically going home and basically getting ready after school to dip. But as I was about to leave, I'm not gonna lie to you, something fell off my stomach. And you know that feeling in your stomach where you know something's just like wrong? Well, I had that feeling, and I remember I decided to turn around and go back to the school and see what was going on. Like, what was I doing? Was I forgetting something? Was I doing something wrong? So as I turned around, I remember I decided to look through the library window to see how my crush is doing. We're basically in love, you know, she likes me, only me, you know, it's never a bad time to see your crush. And when I did, I remember seeing this, and this literally broke my heart, bro. And this made me realize that no girl in high school is worth anything, bro. I looked at her and I saw that she was sitting beside Jacob and they were making out as they were reading a math textbook. Hey, she didn't lie about the math, okay? She didn't lie about the math. Even though she wasn't taking a test, she wasn't lying. She just apparently the test was Jacob. Yeah, I don't know. And then, you know, seeing them, you know, basically put their tongues in their mouths, like, I don't know, I'm not gonna lie. I was just looking through the window, all sad and stuff. And I remember basically when they stopped kissing, she looked directly at the window because, you know, I guess people have that feeling when they're like getting watched. And she saw me looking through, being all sad. And then that's when she stood up, and then Jacob looked through the window, sees me, and he just giggles. He like laughs, bro. He gives me that smirk that he gave me the first day when I first, like, you know, basically was talking about how I loved her. Yeah, it was embarrassing. I won't lie to you. And honestly, to this day, it makes me sad. But you know, at the same time though, these hoes ain't loyal, okay? Like, no one trusts a girl in high school. There's a time when I do talk to her about it and stuff, and there is like a future episode where one day, like, you know, I'll tell you guys how, like, you know, stuff went down afterwards between me and Jacob and how I beat his butt. But you know what? That's a story for another day. Anyways, far from more embarrassing, but sad story.